This is Interesting Humans Podcast. My name is Jeff Hopek, your host, where we go past the highlight reel and into the moments that actually shape a life. The struggles, the mistakes, the pivots, because the real lessons aren't found in success. They're found in everything you took to get there. Folks, welcome to episode 68. I have Billy Kramer from NFA Burger. Billy, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I should say, actually, thanks for having us here because we're at your place. So, folks, this story is about so much more than burgers. This man sitting here was not supposed to be successful in this space. He started off in a completely different industry. So, if we look at what the business books suggest, you should not be a champion winning all these awards for best burger, but something happened in your story, and we're going to get into it. So, no restaurant background, none. Didn't come through that space. Walks into the burger world and starts beating everybody. Okay, evidenced by awards that we're going to talk about. The question is, and I think everybody out there is going to want to know, how do you come from radio sales to an industry that's so unbelievably crowded, right? And not only enter the industry, but come in, be a champion out of the gate. What did you see?
Well, I've always been fascinated with process since I was a little kid. I had family members that worked at McDonald's growing up in Memphis.
Wow.
We had a family friends owned a McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I remember going in there as a kid, and I saw the manual. They had this this guide, their operations manual. And I remember opening to the page where it said, I can't remember the exact number of seconds. It was something like, when a customer gets to the counter to leaving with their bag of food, should be like 87 seconds. It was something that was like so specific.
Wow.
That was like really like stood out. And I was probably like, I don't know, let's say 10 years old when I saw that. So I've always been fascinated by that. When I'm having a rough day, I'll go down to Krispy Kreme on Ponce and just watch donuts being made. But I'm okay with the route I took.
So, let's go all the way back. I'm curious, right? So you're from what part of the...
I was born in Memphis. I moved to Jersey for high school and college.
Can you look back right now where you are? Can you look back into those earlier years and draw any connection at all that says, I really was an entrepreneur back then?
I always say it's the Kramer family syndrome. We're always the smartest people in the room.
Yeah.
And we know, the success takes place, I think, when you realize you're not the smartest person in the room. When you realize there are other people who know more, and you can learn from those people.
Yeah.
But even my first job out of college, I was going to travel around the Southeast in a car. This is before apps. Okay, I just got my first email address, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And first thing I did was I went to the bookstore and I bought a book called, I think I still have it, something like Road Eats or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And any state that I was in, I was going to stop at the restaurants and these books. So I was already kind of, I don't know, probably secretly into that stuff without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just like, some of the interesting places I saw that I would go out of my way to these small towns to eat at this like weird restaurant that's been around for like 100 years.
Yeah, right.
Just to have like a piece of fried chicken or cornbread or whatever they're great for.
Sure.
So I still have that book, but that's kind of like my interest in exploring. Also, I had a per diem, so it wasn't like I could go out for steak dinners all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, had $35 a day.
Yeah,
so,
right. You be smart.
You're looking for like dive restaurants and this stuff. So, wound up trying to start my own coupon website. That didn't go well. Went to work in sports radio with 680 The Fan.
Yeah.
Had the most fun I ever had selling was at 680 The Fan.
Nick Chalani?
He's there now, but back then we were a startup back then. And I was in charge of the internet. And then they came to me and they said, Billy, we need a salesperson because we're having trouble right now. Sure. So I just got in there. I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And my sales manager, Tim Rohrer, he said, how are you getting these accounts? I said, we need the accounts, right? like it wasn't like, how was I getting the accounts? I was like, oh, you said we're struggling and we need accounts.
Yeah,
So
I'm doing my job.
I'm going to go out and get accounts. And we're going to be creative because
Right.
when you're WSB, 750 WSB, you don't have to be creative.
Yeah.
You have all the listeners.
Yeah.
Right?
You got
And
'em
people
all.
are just handing you money left over. Right now, they're phenomenal salespeople. The most well-trained salespeople in the world work for Cox Communications.
Yeah.
I never would have. I would have lasted there 2 seconds
Yeah. Right.
because I just don't have that mentality of like following rules and, I have to be able to color outside the lines.
Yeah.
I
For
just
sure.
have to. And I would say, like, if you just let me do my thing, you'll be the happiest sales manager of all time.
Yeah.
If you get in my way, I won't be here very long.
Right.
So when I was at 680, David Dickey and my boss Frankie, they just said, "Look, Billy, just get out of Billy's way, because he needs to put food on the table.
Right.
He knows what he's doing.
Let him go.
Yeah, so just get out of my way."
If
So
I stop, if I talked to you back then, was there any inkling at all that you were ever going to own a business? If I asked you.
So I started traveling, and again, I'm on these per diems, and I was like bored out of my mind when I was traveling. So I'd go to like a burger place in LA, or I'd go to a burger place in Chicago, wherever I was. And I don't know if Instagram's still like that now because I don't really do that very often. But I would reach out to people and say, "Hey, I'm going to be in New York.
Yeah.
I know you really like burgers, so can we meet up for burgers, right?" And so they'd say, like, "Yeah, that's great. I'll get some other people." So I'd go to New York, and there'd be
That's awesome.
10 of us eating
Yeah.
burgers.
Meetups.
And then I started meeting these people, and then they knew the restaurant owners and the chefs.
Yeah.
So it became like, then I just got more aggressive with my questioning. So one day we were at Emmy Squared in New York, and the co-founder, Matt Hyland, knew the people I was at the table with.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Hey, man, can I see your kitchen?" He's like, "Yeah." Well, in New York, kitchens are anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Downstairs, upstairs.
Upstairs.
It doesn't really matter where it is, right?
Yeah.
Wherever they can fit it.
Right.
So we go downstairs, and I'm asking him all the questions about his burger. Why a pretzel bun, and how do you make the meat, and what's special about your grill, and all this stuff. And that is, if you find people who really care about what they do, they want to share with everybody else anybody else who's interested. Right? So Matt and I are friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Matt he was like, "Here's somebody who's really interested in how we do this. It's not just bring me my burger and eat."
Right.
He's like, he really wants to know more. And at this point, I wasn't even considering a restaurant.
Sure.
I was just like, yeah, here's a guy who's going to answer any question I have.
It's incredible. What year, roughly?
That was, I think, 2015, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Then I started meeting more people. Went to the Burger Bash in Miami.
Yeah. All burgers? It sounds like it was all burger stuff.
It's always burgers.
Always burgers. You just...
Well, I figured I was going to pick a topic.
Yeah.
Learn how to use social media.
Yeah.
The more niche you are, it seems the more, not the more followers, but the more engaged followers.
Qualified.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Engaged.
So,
Yeah.
I just did burgers.
Sure.
Right. And then what started happening is I started traveling around to other cities, and people got wind that I had an Instagram account. And so I would go visit a prospect or a client, and they're like, "Hey, Billy, we heard you love burgers. We got a place here if you want to go for lunch." I was like, "Yeah, let's go for lunch." So
That's awesome.
we'd go to this place. And then when I started changing jobs, I'd go on interviews. And the guy interviewing had heard from the recruiter that I had a burger account, and I love burgers. So I would go on these interviews, and they'd say, "We're going for lunch. Where do you want to go for a burger?" So it was like everybody kind of knew, no matter where I went, that I was into burgers. The problem is I didn't know how to make a burger.
Right.
I'm a terrible cook. I'm not even, to call me a terrible cook would be even insulting to cooks. I didn't know how to do anything.
But something changed, clearly.
So I started asking more pointed questions.
Yeah.
What kind of meat do you use? How long do you do? What style of burger is it? Why do you use this bun?
Yeah.
What's special? Why does this bun fall apart when you make it? You eat this kind of burger, and then you get these explanations.
Sure.
Of, well, the higher the fat, if you have this brittle bun, it'll break down. Whatever the answer is.
Mm-hmm.
So when I would go on these trips, I would go in a night early, and I'd go have dinner, and I'd go have a burger somewhere, and I'd go talk to somebody. And if I went in that morning and I wouldn't schedule a meeting, I'd say, "No, I'm going to go to a museum. I gotta bring myself back to sanity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I made a burger, I wasn't just making a burger for myself. I was like, can I make the best burger ever? All right, what does that take, right? If I can make the best burger ever, can I make it for my family? Could I make it for my friends?
Yeah.
Could I make it for? Can I do a pop up? Could I do it in a restaurant?
What was that in the beginning? I want to pause there. What to you when you first set out to make the best burger? What were the details then? And I would love to fast forward. We'll compare them today.
Well, so the thing today is the details then. I mean, it was. I approached it from a certain point of view, and that was, what do I hate? What are the things I hate about burgers?
Yeah.
And I'm going to fix those things.
Yeah.
So one thing I hate is
awesome.
like strips of bacon, because they're always inconsistently cooked.
Yeah, right.
They either come out of the bacon, or you're not getting, you might get some bacon here, but this bite doesn't have bacon.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I can solve that problem. I'm going to use diced bacon, and we're going to put bacon over the whole burger. That way there's bacon in every bite.
Yeah.
Same thing with mustard and sauce. Like, a giant pet peeve is when you go to a restaurant and they talk about how great their sauce is, right? And then like 4 bites into the burger, you're like, where's the sauce, right? And you're like, oh, got to it, right? So if there's so I want sauce here.
Yeah.
I want mustard here.
Yeah.
And I want the patty to fit the bun properly. Okay, bun to meat ratio.
Yeah.
Going out for a burger and asking for a medium rare, and then it coming out well done, and you play this game with the chef 3 times. It's like frustrating. All right, how do I get rid of that problem? All right, smash burgers don't have that problem. Okay. So, truth be told, at the time, I wasn't like a smash burger fanatic. Like, I didn't really care what burger I got when I went somewhere.
Sure.
I just wanted it to taste great.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, okay, if I'm going to play this game, how do I make it so no one can ever return their burger? Well, Smash Burger accomplishes that, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's going to be the burger I make, and this is going to be how I do these things. This is how I'm going to layer it. I said, but also, there's Shake Shack, and there's Steak and Shake, and there's all these places that do the same thing.
That's
you
right.
said in the beginning, like, it's a very crowded place, so how do you separate yourself? So I said, all right, it's got to taste different. It can't just be salt and pepper. Okay, because everybody does salt and pepper. And if everybody's doing salt and pepper, then I'm unnecessary.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I called a buddy of mine. This is how stupid I am. This is how little I know about cooking. I called my buddy who makes a barbecue rub. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I said, hey, Jeremy, talk to me about how you make your rub. He's like, all right. You got a pen and paper? I said, yeah, I'm writing this all down.
Yeah.
Go to the store. Go to the spice aisle. And find all the spices you like, and then mix them together, and that's your rub.
Oh my gosh!
And I was like, I'm such a
too good to be true, though. I would have never.
But it's a true story. I was just with Jeremy the other day, by the way. But I'm such a dumbass. Like, I'm the guy who saw a recipe for aioli.
Right.
And this really did happen. I went to Publix and I was buying all these ingredients. My buddy was with me, a different buddy, Jeff.
Yeah.
He's with me. We're buying all these ingredients. He's like, why don't you just buy mayonnaise and put some stuff in it? I was like, what? He's like, hey, all you're doing is making mayonnaise. But I'm following this instruction list of you need eggs and you need oil and you need this. And I'm going, I think it was Matt Hyland from Emmy. I just sent him a text. I go, is aioli just mayonnaise with other shit in it? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
see? You're the process guy, though.
Right. So now I'm like, okay. I read Kenji Lopez Alt's book, The Food Lab. Not the whole book, because I don't really care about how you make eggplant.
Yeah.
But I read the part about burgers.
Yeah.
And then he's got a fry sauce. He's like, this is not my recipe.
Huh.
Take it, make it your own.
Yeah.
I did it. Make it your own. So I saw the recipe. I said, all right. Well, it's got mayonnaise and ketchup and pickle juice and mustard in it, and it's got these other spices. So I swapped out the spices for my seasoning that I made, which took me 19 attempts to make. So the batch we get on our burger today is batch 19.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, so I made my sauce. I had my cousin who's a chef like classically trained, Italy and all, northern, southern Italy, all kinds of stuff. I had to make the recipe at home. He's like, all right, make these tweaks.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And I made those tweaks. That's the sauce we have today.
Wow.
So, so it was like make my own seasoning. How are we going to make the burger that's going to make it different? Well, the way we season the burger is different than really anybody else does it.
Yeah.
Because again, I want everything in every bite. So everything we do is just focused on that one thing. We have 4 pickles. I can't tell you how frustrating it is when you get a burger and they like just drop all the pickles in one spot.
Right in the middle.
Right? Or they give you 2 pickles.
Yeah.
Or even 3, right? It's just, it's about surface area.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like Kenji Lopez, he talks about surface area in his book all the time. Like crinkle cut fries have more surface area. So when if you're going to do seasoned fries, crinkle cut is great because it has more nooks and crannies for the seasoning to get in there, right? You have more surface area. Yeah. So I hope I'm saying all that right. Or interpreted it right. Now I'm worried about these people listening to this for some reason.
Well,
They're like, that's not even at all what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so that was it. So I started making that burger, and as I got a new batch of seasoning, I'd invite my friends over.
Yeah.
And then I said, all right, next batch, come over. And then it was just like, they would just wait. They knew a new batch was coming. They knew when I was in town and wasn't traveling. They're like, oh, Billy's home.
Yeah.
Burgers are coming soon.
Yep.
And then one day my friend Jeff's wife, Karen, said, Jeff told me, Karen won't eat burgers anymore. And I was like, oh my God, I made her sick. Like, I really thought, like, the way he said it didn't sound right.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh my God, did I make her sick? And she said, no, I didn't say that right. She will only eat your burger. She doesn't eat any other burger anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Like, oh, that's pretty cool.
But still no thought at this time of having a restaurant.
No, not really.
You're...
Sent him an email. Hey, can we chat?
Wow.
His receptionist is like, he's traveling, but Richard will talk to you. Richard's his COO, right-hand man, Richard Crane. And he got on the phone with me. And I said, hey, Richard, talk me out of the restaurant industry. He's like, well, what do you do? I said, I make a really good burger.
Interesting. What year are we in?
This is 2018.
Okay, so 18 years.
It's almost exactly 8 years ago.
COO.
Of Union Square Hospitality Group.
Talk me out of the restaurant industry.
I said, talk me out of the restaurant industry. Because,
I love it.
Because what I learned in the magazine business was I asked all the wrong questions. Okay? I asked, wouldn't it be great if I did this? And I had all these people who were like, that sounds like a great idea. You're Billy.
Cheerleaders.
Yeah, to be happy, right. And you can't do that. So this time I went the other way.
Wow.
What do you hate about the restaurant industry? Because if I could get through all that, I can make the decision of whether or not I can handle it.
What did he say? I'm dying to hear this.
He actually was pretty interesting. He said, well, how good's your burger? I said, it's really good. He said, then you should open one. And
even though you asked him to talk you out of it.
But then we had another conversation because he said, tell me about this documentary. It was about Danny Meyer opening 2 restaurants at the same time. He was going to open 11 Madison and Tabula. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
And there were 2 drastically different restaurants, but they shared like the back space together. And so he had this concept, and he just spent so much money. And the whole documentary is like, God, what was that movie with Michael Douglas where he was trying to build his house? The Roses, War of the Roses. Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. It was like that. It was like everything was bad was happening inside these 2 restaurants, and he couldn't. And so I really wanted to say to him, ask him, was like, why?
Yeah.
Right? And I know the answer, not from him. Here's the answer in the restaurant industry. Here's the other thing I learned. If you do it once, you think you can't fail. Okay, so he's got Gramercy Tavern, and it's highly regarded, and it's Michelin, whatever, right? It's all these things, right? Yeah. It's the best restaurant in New York. So you're like, oh, I'm really good at this.
Yep.
Of course, I can't fail.
Do it again.
Right? So I'm going to do it again. And if you see like all these, I call it the owner's paradox, because you see all these restaurants, top chefs, man, great here, open another place, fails miserably. Because they're not, well, I don't know in their scenario why it happens, but I have a guess, and that is they don't really understand why their business was successful. They don't think about it as deep as they should to go, okay, what are the elements that made this successful?
Yeah.
And do those elements exist over here?
Yeah.
So it could be location, it could be type of food, it could be the chef, or a variety of things,
Right? Yeah, sure.
But so if you're not thinking about those things, you're just like, oh, well, I have a steak place, I'm going to open a fish place,
Yeah.
right?
And it's going to do great.
It's going to do great because I was on TV and I know everything about restaurants, right? Or whatever it is, right? So that's why I ask these questions to these people. It's like, I need to know about your failures. I can see the greatness.
Yeah.
Right. That's
easy.
That's everywhere. That's in the New York Times and in Bon Appetit and
Sure.
every article on the web. I need to know the failure because those are usually the things that are not out in public. So one of the questions I'll ask is a guy named Dan Van Lowe, works for Rocket Farm, which is Superica, Little Ray, Optimist.
Yeah.
He's their COO.
Okay.
And I see him about once a year at this conference. And I ask him the same question every year. I see two questions. What's the one thing that you thought was going to be great that failed? And what's the one thing you thought was going to fail that's great?
Ooh.
Okay, and I always ask people those questions. I was doing it when I was in media. The CMO of Pepsi, I was at a conference. Ask them the same. I will always ask you those two questions.
Yeah.
Because that's how you start thinking about things in the right way. Like, okay, well, I thought this was going to be great and it failed, so now I no longer think that thing's the reason we do well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this other thing, so you just like approaching things from different angles. So that's kind of like the questions I'll ask you, Richard Carrain. So after I got off the phone with Richard, I said, all right, I'm going to do a pop-up. And so I went and found a place. I had this like crazy Instagram following.
Yeah.
They've been watching me make burgers online, on my account, right? So I'm feeling like, okay, I could sell like 50 of these at a pop-up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Found a place, Battle and Brew in Sandy Springs. Convinced them to let me have their kitchen. I have never used a kitchen. Okay.
Right.
Commercial kitchen.
What, all grill or
The whole kitchen.
Oh, okay. Oh, you get the whole thing.
Excuse me. I said I'm going to do a pop-up
What
here.
was that?
Battle and Brew.
Battle and Brew.
It's still
Okay,
there. It's in Sandy Springs.
Okay, got it.
It's like a gamer bar with like an not upscale, like a better menu. Like it's not a fast food menu. But with like real chefs, like doing real things.
Sure.
But it's a gamer bar, so it's kind of interesting place to have like really high quality food. And so I went in there, and the guy's like, "Well, look, you have this Instagram account. Why don't you just invite people here? We already make burgers." I said, "That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
This is about to see if I can use a kitchen and do I like it."
Right.
And they said, "Well, we can't just do that unless we know what your food's like." I said, "Hey, that's great. I brought some with me. So can we go use your kitchen?" And I was like, "Yeah." Go back there and make a burger. And I've always felt bad for this chef. I don't know his name. But the general manager takes a bite out of my burger and goes, "This is the best burger I've ever had." Right in front of the chef who makes all the food for this restaurant.
And he makes burgers too?
Yeah. Well, he makes, not only that, he makes smash burgers.
Oh.
But he, let me tell you about this chef. So this is
Wow.
they did like a Game of Thrones night. So they have like a whole Game of Thrones menu. And this chef is like, we're doing turkey legs made with this. We're doing drinks made with,
Sure.
fancy stuff. I could never do any of that. So I'm like, I'm in awe of this chef and what he can do. And then this, the general manager is like, "That's the best burger I ever had." I was like, "Oh man, that guy, that's got to be a kick in the gut, right?"
Yeah. Yeah.
But we set it up. They supplied all the staff. I brought the meat. I said, "Look, I'm going to bring everything. You keep all the money. I don't want any of the money.
Oh my goodness.
I'll bring the meat, the buns, everything.
Yeah.
You just staff it, and I just need to see how this works." It was horrible. Not horrible. It was horrible. I call it a glorious disaster.
Yeah.
Because
I love that word.
they let everybody in at once.
Yeah.
They started taking orders all at once. And they were only they thought that like people would order off the menu. I'll get nachos, I'll get a drink. They were only ordering my burger. Everybody there was there for my burger.
Oh, jeez.
The rail, I mean, I kid you not, it was like the length of the bar. And it was just like burger, 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 burger.
Oh, my gosh.
There were 50 tickets on the rail before the first non-burger came in. The grill is this big. It's not a thermostatic grill. I didn't even know what that meant at the time, but that meant every time you put cold meat on it, the temperature drops. You need a certain temperature to smash a burger, so it never got back up to that temperature. So after the first 10 burgers, every burger just sucked.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
terrible. Also, you have the kitchen who's got all these tickets, and kitchens generally are built on speed, right?
Okay. Yeah.
They're just can't have high ticket times. Can't have high ticket times. So we never got the grill up. And then we started doing things with the meat and the seasoning that shortcuts, but it wound up making the burgers bad. It's too salty.
Yeah.
And so I get home. And, oh, by the way, the 51st order of the night was nachos. It turns out it was my son. He was the only one that night to not order a burger. Because he was like, well, I eat your burgers all the time at home. So I wanted nachos. I was like, all right, I get that.
Sure.
He was 12 at the time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get home and I've got this big grin on my face. My wife's like, how was it? I'm like, it was terrible. Now, I've known my wife since high school.
Right.
Since 1980. Well, I've known her since 1986, but dating since 1989.
Yeah.
She knows me better than anybody.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't understand. You have this big smile on your face. And I said, oh, it was terrible, but I can fix it all. I know I can make it all better. And I loved it. And so the next morning, I'm on the phone with people who make griddles. I'm like, all right, tell me about thermostatic griddles. What makes a good one? What makes a bad one?
Yeah.
Tell me about fryers. What's a good recovery time, bad recovery time? Like, how does a perfect fry get made? And it was like game on, right? And now I have no job because I've just been fired.
Yeah.
Like 30 days earlier. And so now I'm like, in this deep mode. And again, I go back to this conversation I had with this actor the other day, last couple weeks ago, which is, like, if I had something interesting in high school, I could have been doing this much longer. I just wasn't interested in any of that. But if you had said, Billy, we're going to go learn how to run a restaurant, like, that would have been awesome.
Right.
We're going to learn about grills and how a perfect burger gets made and how this, that would have been amazing, right? That just wasn't how that worked back then.
Sure.
So I just took this deep dive into it and started doing pop-ups and was invited to go to the Tour Championship and do a pop-up there. I got struck by lightning. That was fun.
Ew.
You can Google it. Google Billy Kramer lightning.
No way.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh my gosh.
The best is my buddy was in London, and he sends me a text. He's like, Billy, look at that golf cart in the back. It gets, when the lightning strikes, the cart blows up in the air, and the guy goes flying out of it. I was like, yeah, that was me.
No way.
Yeah. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, my friend took the video. My friend's at the tournament, and he sent it to me in London, and that's you. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Anyway.
That's awesome.
So did pop-ups. Cafe opened inside the gas station in Dunwoody.
Yeah.
My friend who's in the restaurant industry, Daryl Dollinger, he runs the franchise groups, owns franchise groups for Flying Biscuit and Cinnaholic.
Okay.
I become friendly with him. He said, Billy, you got to take that cafe over. I said, I don't know how that works. We didn't even take it over. They just opened. It's their business. I'm just going to walk in there and tell the guy to move over. I got this. So I went in, had a burger. The general manager, Sonny, who's still the general manager of the Chevron, he came up to me. He's like, what did you think of the burger? I said, it was okay. He's like, well, what would make it better? I said, look, man, I'm the wrong guy to ask. You can't be trying to please me because I'm a burger person.
Yeah.
I don't like aficionado, but I was like, look, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's unfair for me to tell you how to make your burger. He said, no, I want to know. I said, how about I just make you one? He's like, okay. So I go back there. I don't have any of my stuff.
Yeah.
Make a mixed seasoning real quick and make a burger. And he's like, yeah, this is way better. So he introduces me to the owner of the Chevron. And Salim, I go sit with Salim in his office over on North Side in Powers Ferry. Or North Side in Paces Ferry.
Yeah.
So I'm at his desk. And then I had to be sales guy. Because I'm trying to get the cafe. Okay, so now I have to be sales guy, not aw shucks hamburger guy.
Yeah.
So I just looked at him. I said, wouldn't it be cool if the best burger in the world was made in your gas station? And he started laughing. And I was like, no, I'm dead serious. He's like, oh, well, that would be pretty cool. I'll tell you what, my son's going to come to your pop-up tonight. I said, all right, great. Next morning, he calls me and said, my son said that's the best burger he's ever had. So about 3 months later, he called me and said, would you like to take over the cafe?
Yeah.
And so that's how we started. That was it.
Oh my gosh.
It was game on.
And now, okay, so what was,
That was
year
December.
one?
That was December 3rd, 2019.
You're now you're really off to the races because you got your spot.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, I didn't put any of the equipment. It was just, I walked in. I'd been sick. I didn't know I was sick leading up to that. A week before, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. And the way that disease attacks me, attacks people similar manner, but particularly me, the high inflammation just drives me into the ground.
Yeah.
And I probably had it for a year and had no clue. And a lot of it's from stress, and I was out of work, and I hated my career I was in, and it's all these struck by lightning, all these things are just like, we have no money.
Yeah.
I have friends who want to invest in a business. I have financing if I need it.
Yeah.
But we personally have no money.
Sure.
And I got diagnosed. I was on medication for like 3 days before I started feeling better, like almost instantly.
Yeah.
So I just told my wife, I said, December 2nd, I said, I'm going in tomorrow to cook. She's like, okay. So you're going to pick up on a theme here. So I go in, I come home, I got this big smile on my face. She's like, how was it? I go, I made 3 burgers today. So it's like $30.
Yeah.
And she's like, we kind of needs to be better than that.
Yeah.
And I said, I know, but we're good.
Yeah.
All 3 people really liked it. Right? So the next day we did like 10.
Yeah.
Next day we did like 35. That third day was the first time I had my manager.
Yeah.
He had called me. I'd worked with him at a pop-up. And he called me and said, Billy, can I come work for you? I said, yeah, sure. I don't know. I didn't think, I wasn't even there. I wasn't even like, I could use an employee. Sure, why not?
Sure.
Shows up. So day 1, 3 burgers. Day 5, 125. Out of control, nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
Me and my manager are the only ones making the burgers. My son, who's 12, is on the grill. No, he's 14 at the time.
Yeah.
He's on register. Okay. We were going to handwrite notes on all the bags.
Yeah.
Like Starbucks. We were like, hey, thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks, yeah. Yeah.
That went out the window in about 5 seconds. Because now we just have stacks of bags. We have no rails system. We have no receipts.
Right.
No, nothing. We're literally like, my son would be like, double, combo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a burger. 2 combos. Okay, it's 2 burgers and 2 fries. Right? And that's how it went.
Yeah.
Stack of people waited an hour in line and an hour to get their food.
Unreal.
I was like, okay, I can fix all this.
Right. There's that theme.
Right.
Though.
I always felt like Sean Penn in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like, my dad's got a great set of tools.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I can fix it. So by that next Tuesday, that was Saturday, closed Sunday and Monday. By Tuesday, I had printers, square receipt printers. The tablet was set up differently.
Yeah.
It was all just different.
Right.
So almost instantly more efficient, just from some tweaks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how we've done it every day since. There's no day where, like, people would see me behind the grill cooking, and I would turn around and I have this like vacant look in my face, like I'm not, like almost like I'm asleep inside my head.
Yeah.
Right, but my eyes are open.
Sure.
And I said, Billy, what's going on? I was like, no, I see something over there. We're gonna have to fix that. Where I'm like, okay, that's not. But it was all in my head, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't like saying out loud, like, well, that's
Totally.
stupid or whatever. I was just constantly just fixing things in my head, like, okay, we can't fix it now. I'm also a big fan of that. Like, at some point, the ship has sailed.
Yeah.
And you can't fit. Like, I couldn't go get a printer in the middle of it Saturday. I was like, okay, this is where we are today.
Yeah.
We're gonna make the best of it. It'll be fixed tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like how we do this. If we can fix it in the moment, we will.
Yeah.
Right? If there's something wrong with, I'm going to make something up. Something wrong with the mustard, I'll just go buy new mustard, right? I can fix that thing in the moment.
Sure.
Okay, but I can't get new equipment in the moment.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how we operate. Every day it's like, okay, it's just little improvements here and there, never stop, never be settled.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 months in, COVID hit. So now you got a guy who has no interest, no experience in running a restaurant, is now dealing with a pandemic. We quickly just made adjustments. We're like, okay, we're going to move the cashier over here. We're going to keep people outside. I have a friend's family who does plexiglass. They made us the plexiglass barriers.
Wow.
So we just got fortunate. The AJC stopped doing food reviews during COVID. But Wendell Brock, he was their food critic, and he was like, well, I need to do stuff.
Sure.
So they changed the focus. So they started, the Atlanta magazine started highlighting restaurants that were great at takeout. And here we are, all we do is takeout.
So unique how you do it, too. Walking out to the car, the picnic tables. I mean, it's...
Yeah, so it's funny. We get complaints about it sometimes.
You do?
They wouldn't let me wait inside. I'm like, it's the greatest part of your life. Order food, go sit down, read the paper, play a game on your app, walk your dog, do whatever you want. We're going to bring your food to you. Isn't that great?
It's awesome.
I think it's great.
I love it. Kids love it, too.
But people get so bent out of shape sometimes over the weirdest things, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Wendell Brock wrote an article in the AJC. It just went like this, and then Food and Wine put us as the best burger in Georgia. Went like that.
It's incredible.
And it's just,
and
then when you think like you're out of things, you can win. I love a Michelin. First off, that's not even a possibility for me. Like, wow, when the first Michelins came out, they said, Billy, you didn't get a Bib Gourmand. And I was like, why would I get a Bib Gourmand? Like a burger joint at a gas station.
Right.
No, you deserve one. I'm like, no.
I don't think they do it.
So many other people out there doing chef-like culinary experiences, right? And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not but you start thinking like, oh, there are things out there we're in that area now. So we just recently came back from Miami. We were invited to be in the Burger Bash, which I'd been to as a guest 10 years earlier.
Sure.
And I had seen Matt Hyland and Emmy Squared back there cooking 1,500 burgers and sweating and loving it. And having a drink while he's doing it and having the best time. And I remember seeing Guy Fieri and all these people just killing it and having the best time. And then this past October, I got invited to it. I'm like, what the heck is happening here? There was two choices. There was winner, peoples, and judges. And, we had a lot of chefs looking at us during our setup, and we're dressed. I mean, if you look around here, see how we're dressed?
Yeah.
That's how we were dressed. They've won these awards, and this guy won a Michelin, and this guy is James Beard, and this guy is this. And here we are, just Brett, my COO, is just setting up the booth for speed. So it's just all about consistency and speed.
Yeah.
We don't need it to look great. I always tell everybody, like, we're a Pinto with a Ferrari engine, not a Ferrari with a Pinto engine. Okay? So I don't really care what it looks like from the outside. When it gets in front of you, we're gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
So Brett set up this great setup, and all of a sudden the chefs started coming and looking at how we were just like burgers were just coming out left and right. And they're like, that was a good idea. Oh, yeah, that was a good idea. Yeah, we should have done that. And then next thing you know, we're on stage. My daughter's got the giant check, $2,500, and I've got this 20-pound trophy.
Yeah, that you walked around with at the restaurant.
Yeah, we walked around all around South Beach like we won an Oscar. Yeah, and so like every time we think like we've run out of like a little runway to get some more publicity, it's something we put ourselves in a position to do it. The sad thing is all the restaurants who are really good that can't find their way into it to get that little pop, to get them successful. That's why you ask what the hat is, the Giving Kitchen. I mean, I spend a lot of time trying to raise money for it because there's a lot of restaurant people out there who are struggling. Just trying to figure out any way we can to help keep these people in the industry. Yeah. You want people, I hate kiosks. I hate QR code ordering. I just do. It's impersonal. I get it as a labor control.
Yeah.
It's just impersonal. We're in the hospitality business, right? Like, I want people when they come here to be happy.
Yeah.
I want people to be, I don't know, they spent their money. They can go spend their money anywhere. I want them to enjoy it.
Right? I love that your flair is on it. Like, now when I see those things, they're from you.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you've pulled the corporate piece out of it, so to speak.
If we see something's wrong on somebody's plate, we don't ask them if they want another one. We go get another one. It's like little things like that.
That's a big one.
Not negotiating with your customer for happiness. Like I'm going through with one of my vendors right now.
Yeah.
They're like, how do you want to be taken care of? No, that's not how that works. How do you think you should take care of me?
Right. So, what's the ketchup thing? This is probably such a basic question.
All right, two things. Three things. One is my parents are from Chicago.
Okay.
I always say people, I'm Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder. Right? Not that I'm Tom Cruise, but point is like, I don't know any of the lingo.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You know, I don't know what rubbin is and all that stuff and all that. So, you know, like, here's what I know. It tastes good or it doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't need the culinary aspect of it.
Yeah.
I don't know that, like, when I built my burger, I was like, oh, there's sweet and there's savory and there's acid and there's
yeah.
You know, that's what my
it's either good or not.
My friends are chefs. They're like, oh my God, you can taste this. You know, all these elements that make food great. And I'm like, yeah, I just like it to taste good, right? So, you know, so that's just kind of. It doesn't need ketchup. The ketchup's in the sauce, by the way. It's ketchup, mayonnaise, pickle juice, mustard, and seasoning. But if you remember my conversation earlier about mayonnaise, it's eggs and oil and stuff, right? So I can make the elements that create ketchup. Yeah. And I can put sugar and vinegar and whatever and tomatoes in there. Or I could just buy ketchup.
Yeah.
And start from there. So I always say ketchup's a shortcut. I don't need to put all... Mayonnaise is a shortcut.
Yeah.
Ketchup's a shortcut.
Yeah.
Okay, there's just a way to take all these things that somebody else already put together and then create something else, right? The things that aren't a shortcut, mustard.
And mustard's on it.
But we have mustard in the sauce, but it provides a different, you know, flavor profile to it. Again, words I never thought of using.
Sure.
Flavor profile, and it's just, you know, I kind of just walked ass backwards into something because I just grew up loving burgers.
Which is so
that's
cool.
It. Like,
so what's the word? What do you credit it to? Like, looking back now, is it just because you were so naive and you just got into an industry and said, I'm going to just do it my way? What would you really credit it to?
I will say what I say to everybody. Whenever I'm asked a question about why we're successful, I give the same answer. That's all right, buddy.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Ryan, how are you, man?
No worries. We don't edit anything out of here either. It stays in. You're good.
I just got nervous, man.
Yeah, we're on camera. All right.
All right, I gotta hear this. I'm dying to hear this. What you credit it
to? We all have one thing in common. That's we all give a shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, we all want you to have the best product possible. We want you to have the best experience possible. It's why negative reviews, are really frustrating, because it's not that I can't take constructive criticism. It's that there's never any constructive criticism, and it's never somebody who's come and talked to me. If you come and talk to me, I will make you. I'll make you happy. Yeah. We had a guy here the other day. I came up to. He's from St. Louis. Went to his table and said, "How is it?" He's like, "It's okay." I said, "What's wrong with it?" He's like, "Well, it's okay." I said, "No, that's not the normal response we get. What's the matter?" He said, "Well, it's really salty." I said, "Okay, I got you covered." I went back in. I said, "I need a double, less seasoning, no sauce, light seasoning on the fly." Bring it back out. He takes a bite. I said, "How is it?" He's like, this is great." I said, "So the next time you're in a restaurant and you don't like something, give the restaurant the chance to make it up to you, because we all want you to have a great experience."
Wow.
Right. So when when I'm winning that trophy and I'm on stage and they're asking me what makes our burger great, we all did a great job that night. Okay. Right. Like, I got lucky because Gail King really likes a simple cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Okay. She likes the simple elements of the crispiness and the flavors and not too much stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I got lucky that Bert Kreischer loves just a cheeseburger, right? If he liked truffles, I would have lost.
You would have lost.
Right?
Yeah.
So the one next to us would have won, right?
Yeah.
So also there's like a little bit luck of the draw, but the reality is everybody there that night at the Burger Bash made a great burger.
Yeah.
We just made the burger the judges liked, right? So great, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I will take it. I'm not going to downgrade my win. I love it, but so I think like again, anywhere you go, if it's your favorite pizza, it's not happenstance that it's good pizza.
Right.
The guy making it cares about how great the pizza is,
and doesn't just say it as a word. We care,
right?
Because that's easy to do too.
Well, it's like Elf. The funny scene where it's like the world's greatest cup of coffee, right?
Yeah.
Like, or Tommy Boy, where they say something like, why do they put guarantee on the box? I can take a dump in a box and mark it guaranteed. I have spare time.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you have to tell somebody it's great or that it's guaranteed or all this stuff, you've probably lost the battle at that point.
Great
because
point.
when you bite into it, they'll know.
Yeah. They'll know.
If you tell somebody it's a great cup of coffee and they drink it and it stinks, they're going to be like, oh, it's a crappy cup of coffee.
Right.
Right? So just make your coffee. If somebody really loves it, you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know. And by the way, you can go to like a Steak and Shake and have an amazing burger. If the guy on the grill, the person on the grill, cares about how well it was cooked and how well it was plated.
Yeah.
Okay? And by the way, sometimes I catch guys in the kitchen taking a shortcut, and I'll look at so we have a rule, it's called squaring the cheese. I don't even know if that's an industry phrase. It's for me.
I love it.
Anyway, you take the patty of the cheese,
and
then you put it right over the other patty with the cheese so it's all perfectly together. It's like an OCD element in my brain.
Yeah, love it.
But sometimes we get a guy who's like in a hurry. He thinks being in a hurry is okay. And he'll just put that down and it'll be like kind of cockeyed.
Off, yeah.
Right? I'm like, no.
Wow.
Right? It takes as much time to do it right as it does to do it wrong. So let's just do it right.
Yep.
Okay? So then when look at the if you're not going to see this on there. There's a painting right there a woman did. That's based on a picture that I sent her.
Yeah.
Okay? But if that's the cheese is symmetrical and the sauce covers and the pickles cover and I mean you're getting everything in every bite.
In every bite.
And so that's
cool.
I mean that's the basic part of it. So I think but it's not as easy as to say like if you just give a crap then you're going to win, right? There's so many other elements to this business. It's a math problem. It's more a math problem than it is a quality problem, quite frankly.
Yeah. Interesting.
So the world is littered with Michelin star restaurants that have gone out of business. Yeah. They don't understand the math, right? They're so focused on how great the meal is and how expensive, like using the best ingredients and all this stuff that they forget that like you have to be profitable.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not saying use inferior ingredients. I'm saying like if you ever watched the movie Chef, it's like, yeah, that thing's too expensive you want to eat. Yeah. You want to make or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. So it's science and art.
Yeah, I mean, look, so I use
too.
ground beef. I don't use Wagyu meat, and I don't use triple blend this or whatever that. We use ground beef. No, we've tested every ground beef on the market, and we use the one that has that's made to our specs.
Sure.
We use American cheese. Sorry if it offends you.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's every chef on the planet will say like, yeah, that's really the best cheese for a cheeseburger, like for a simple cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So just we use a Martin's potato roll, not a brioche bun, not a handmade milk bun.
Yeah.
Now you can go to my buddy's place in Cleveland, Cordelia, and that burger is amazing, and he makes the buns in house. That's his.
Wow.
That's the way he wants to do it.
Sure.
And it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay. The burger to me is about my childhood more than anything. So it's about like after school when I would go to McDonald's, with my brother or my sisters or my father or my mother, whoever picked me up, or taking my kid for burgers. Like that burger is simple, right? That burger is not truffles and Gruyere cheese on a brioche bun. That burger was probably crappy white
American
bread with
cheese,
American
crumble.
cheese.
Right.
God knows what the ground beef was,
Yeah,
right? And that
sure.
was like your childhood memory of like hanging out with your dad or whomever
Yeah.
you did it with, your buddies after school, right? That's what this burger is. This burger is not supposed to be fancy.
Yeah.
It's supposed to just taste good.
It's awesome.
So
How do the big guys get it wrong then when they are getting it wrong?
I think we're better than the 300th Shake Shack.
But the
Okay,
originals,
but are we better than the original that's right across from Danny Meyer's office, right in Madison Square Park?
that's a great point.
Probably, that's a probably pretty tough hill to climb, right? You're better than Holman and Finch. Man, are we better than the Holman and Finch 15 years ago when, they had the top chefs, Michelin star chefs making 20 burgers a night, handing them out?
Right.
I mean,
Pro-
probably, are we as good? Yeah. I think we're as good as all those guys. My point is like, they've all grown their businesses and they're making money and they're doing all these things, and it's easy. Like I always tell people, anybody can make a brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody. Okay. You can watch Aaron Franklin's masterclass video on how to trim and put a smoked brisket.
Yep.
Okay. Now try and do it 80 times a day. Okay.
Oh,
Try doing it 80 times a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a way different
Then with you
business.
out of it, because you're going to have to be out of it at some point, have
right.
somebody else
That's a
do.
way different business,
Way
right?
different.
So that's why, like a lot of times, like Louis Barbecue expanding to Atlanta, and he's got one in Greenville, and the quality seems to be very good. That's really difficult to do. That's why most barbecue places don't have more than one.
Yeah.
Because to find somebody who's going to smoke for 14 hours and who cares as much as you do and is really difficult to find, right? So those big guys aren't necessarily getting it wrong. They've just changed their focus of what success is. I'm sure Danny Meyer would like to walk into a Shake Shack in Salt Lake and go, it's just as good as the one in Madison Park. But he knows. He knows the odds of that are pretty close to zero.
Pretty close to zero.
Right.
So it's like you're playing the 80%. If we can get it 80%.
It's about, it's...
What are you seeing when you look out?
I'm trying to grow the business. I'm trying to find the right real estate. About the math. It's about the math.
Georgia
Atlanta
first. Metro, or
I think by the
where?
time it gets out of Atlanta Metro, I'll probably won't be a part of the company anymore. Well, I'm not running it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I was 25, I'd have 100 of these. And they would probably suck. Okay? They just would, but I'd be rolling in money.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not rolling in money. I can tell you that right now.
Right.
But at this point in my life, I probably have like 20 good years left. I'm 53. I probably have, when I say good years, I mean I'm going to die, but I mean 20 years of doing stuff.
Sure.
Go traveling and hopefully a grandkid or two or something, right, at some point. But I have no desire to die in the kitchen, and I'm not motivated. I'm not motivated by the things I used to be motivated by.
Yeah.
And it turns out I probably wasn't always motivated by those things either. I was never motivated by money. I just knew I needed it. But I was never motivated by vacation homes or vacations or giant diamond rings. I just don't care. I'm motivated, like at this point in my life, I'm like motivated by how somebody feels when they eat a burger. Are they really happy or are they really disappointed?
That's awesome.
And what can I do to, that's motivating to me. That's like instant gratification.
Yeah.
I can fix that. Again, another theme throughout this thing. It's like when there's something broken, I'm like, okay, can I fix it? Okay. And I think those big guys, it's not that they're disinterested in fixing things. There's just so many layers to fix it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
you got to fix it.
It's like, well, you got to call Jimmy, and then Jimmy's got to call Frank, and Frank's got to call Jennifer, and you got to, then you got to do this thing, and I just walk in and go, yeah, can you just go to the store and get a screwdriver?
Right.
Like, do we have to call maintenance for this? Do we have a screwdriver?
Yeah.
And I think that's like where these big companies get into. So the trick is, can we grow to a point where I can do something generationally for my family financially without, it won't be me doing it.
Sure.
I want to set it up. My COO, that's why he's here. Most businesses like mine wouldn't have a COO.
Yeah.
They would have a general manager, and then I'd be running both, and that never interested me.
Yeah.
If that was the way it was going to be, I'd just run one, and I'd be happy.
Be happy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing in all of it now that you understand the business side of it, the food side? What do you love doing every single day? Your one thing.
I mean, the one thing I love doing is I like coming into the restaurant. I like talking to customers.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd you get here?
That's how I met you.
Right. Yeah.
You're walking around with a trophy.
Right. I was walking around with a trophy.
To say, what do you?
Yeah. So like I'm.
You're an ambassador.
Yeah. I mean, that's the motivational part, and I love when businesses call me and ask me for help, ask me for advice. I love helping small businesses.
Such as like who? Like who's?
I wouldn't name a restaurant, but like
you
know, there was like a wing place who
Yeah.
called me about 4 years ago, and he was struggling, and he and his wife thought they might have to shut down, and so I said, all right, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's go through the math. I always start with the math, okay? Because you can buy better food, okay? You can
Right.
buy a better piece of equipment, but if
Yeah.
you don't understand how the math stacks up,
Yeah. You're
and this
done.
is all you have to know. Jack in the Box exists, okay? Go read their Yelp reviews. There's not one of them that has over 2 stars, okay? Yet they have like 1,000 locations, and their stocks, you know, they make a ton of money, right?
That's a great point.
So it's just math.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
McDonald's CEO who just got, you know, roasted for not knowing how to eat a sandwich,
Yeah.
he's doing just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, his golden parachute is going to put him on an island.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
so he's doing just fine, right? But this, you know, this husband and wife called me, and they said we're running into a problem. I said, "What are you charging for wings?" And they told me. I said, "All right, you know, your competitors all charge 50 cents more a wing." I said, "But then we won't sell any wings, or we won't sell any." I said, "Well, which way do you want to go out of business? You want to spend your money and not make it back, or do you want to not have any customers? You pick the choice, because you're going out of business either way. So just pick a path."
Wow.
But I know the one thing: this path isn't working.
Yeah.
This is the other path.
So
You got to
we
try.
know, yeah.
So I said, "Give me your Square password. I'm going to go in. I'm changing all your pricing." So we sat on the phone that night for an hour. Went through the cost of everything they do. He says, "Well, what do I charge for the lemonade? 4 times what it costs." And then he'd say, like, "What do I charge for this? 4 times what it costs." Do you see the pattern? Okay. 4 times. Okay, because this is what the 4 elements pay for. Okay, and that last one is yours. Okay, it's rent, it's labor, it's this, it's food costs. That last quarter is yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Changed it all. The next morning he's like, "Billy, I don't know about this." I said, "Just do it one day." Calls me that night. We sold out.
No.
I said, "Yeah." And guess what? You made 30% more money
Oh my gosh.
from just
Which
doing
is
it.
his piece. So he
Right.
made it. Yeah.
Right. Still in business
awesome.
4 years later.
Really.
Yeah.
Great.
So, you know, things like that, or I think the biggest challenge we have in this industry is we don't communicate with each other. And so we don't know that we're going through similar things.
Yeah.
It's even more impressive that he listens to you and goes, "Oh, I think he might, you know, he might be right."
And gives you your
Right.
the password.
Right,
Change all the
yeah.
pricing.
And but it worked, you know. And he's so I get a lot of calls from people about, and I try and talk them all out of it. Not starting a business, not starting a restaurant. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
"Oh, you know what? My advice: never own a restaurant." I'm not that guy.
Right.
That's a person who's, you know, jaded and probably did some stupid things, or isn't treating their employees right, or whatever they're doing. Right?
Sure.
You know, like somebody who's like, "Man, I can't ever keep an employee." It's like, yeah, but you probably should look in the mirror, right? Because I don't lose employees in that money,
Right.
so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I didn't have one person during COVID
It's
take
not
the government
them.
check.
Yeah.
Didn't have one person.
Yeah.
They all came. They came to work every day, and I didn't.
It's cool.
They came to work every day.
Yeah.
So you know, if you treat people right and take care of them and care about them like family,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to come back to work.
Do you still have that Instagram handle? The one
Yeah.
that sort of, I'll say, got it all started?
Billy's Burgers.
Yeah, Billy's Burger.
I never use it.
What do you? Oh, okay. That's
And
what I was
I
gonna
can't
ask.
remember the last time I posted to it.
Yeah. All right.
Because that was my research. That was where I would go out and eat burgers.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the bandwidth to run multiple
Run
accounts.
both. What
And
if
I-
somebody wants to get a hold of you now? Just go through the website, or what do you
Yeah,
do?
website NFA Burger. I answer all the Instagram
Yeah.
messages.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's cool.
I answer all the emails that come through the form on the website. I've never turned down a conversation with anybody who's asked,
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad. So call and ask, and if you ask me for help,
Yeah.
that's all. I will say that if you ask somebody for help, they're going to give it to you. Whether so you have to really want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. If you ask somebody it's like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
If you ask ChatGPT a question, it's never going to not give you an answer.
Right.
Right. It's always going to give you an answer. You don't know if it's right or wrong. Right. It could be. It's like Cliff Clavin is running ChatGPT and it's just spouting out.
Yeah.
Answers. So
Cheerleading.
Right. So yeah, and I'm not your cheerleader. I'm. Like I told the guy with the wing business. Which way do you want to go out of business?
That's a great
I spoke to
story.
Richard Crane back to that a couple years ago. I finished Danny Meyer's book. I didn't read it. I hate reading. I did the audio book. Reading puts me to sleep. So, which is probably another reason I did really well in high school.
Yeah.
So, I sent him a text. I found his cell phone number online. And I sent him a text. And I said, hey, Billy Kramer, NFA Burger, Atlanta. I'd love to chat with you about setting the table. I have all these questions, just like I did the first time when I watched the documentary.
Yeah.
But this time I went to his cell phone. I didn't email him. And it was him. It turns out it was him. And he said,
That's awesome.
And he said, yeah, call my secretary, text my secretary or email her, and we'll set up a call. So I get on the call, and Richard was on the call. So now it's Richard and Danny and myself on the Zoom call. And before Danny got on the call, Richard goes, Billy, if you win any more awards, you're going to need to build another house. And I was like, Richard, I don't understand. I'm NFA Burger, you're Shake Shack, you're beyond wealthy at this point.
Right.
How do you know anything about us? He's like, we know all about you. And I was like, that's the coolest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Wow.
I don't know if Richard's telling I'm assuming he's telling the truth, but
Yeah.
we were at Burger Bash. Shake Shack was competing. And when I won the trophy, I sent him and Danny a picture of the trophy. And that was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
But it's in jest. I mean, look, those guys, I would take their life in a friggin' heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, not their life. I'd take their money. I'm happy with my life.
Their money.
But I'll take the money.
What a story, man.
So I'm sorry I sucked up. That was a long time here. I apologize.
Awesome. No, it was absolutely great. All right, guys, as I'm sure you just heard, this is a lot more than just burgers, this story. This is a guy who's an outsider and stepped into an industry and just refused and still refuses to back down. So thanks for checking out episode 68 of Interesting Humans. And as always, if you loved it, if you know somebody who can help, I'd appreciate it if you hit like, hit share, comment, and all the good stuff. We'll see you next episode.